Oh, how are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the Thursday night football review for round 24 of the NRL. And we just saw a top of the table clash between the Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Storm. What a game of football! Melbourne get it done, 24-22. The Storm are now 4 points clear on top of the NRL ladder. They should win the minor premiership from here. If they don't, I will be very surprised. Cody's Footy World is here to jump on for the review. Cody, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on, Nick. But yeah, I just did a stream watching this game, and yeah, full controversy, which we'll get into. But my God, what a great game it was, and definitely a game of the year caliber.
Oh, it was chaos. There was a lot of chaos in this game, and we will get into it. There's a fair bit to dissect tonight, man. Holy crap. I didn't think I knew we were going to get a good game, but I didn't think we were going to get this much chaos and controversy. I'll tell you that much.
Oh.
Um, If you guys are new around here, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. And if you're a regular viewer, thank you very much for tuning in once again. One thing I do need to say quickly, I just want to give a massive shout out to TBC Live. Guys, I am going to strongly recommend everyone that is watching this live stream to download TBC Live. What you do on TBC Live is you interact with people. There's a banter live chat, and you can win weekly prizes. You can win points. You pretty much predict what's going to happen as you're watching the game. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could download TBC Live and get around it, man. Get around it. It's a fantastic concept, and I would strongly suggest everyone to download it. And when you download it, just make sure you say that Nick from Australia sent you. That would be appreciated. But tonight we're gonna see a bit of the old Nick from Australia, man. I don't usually do many rants anymore. I'm usually pretty calm, and I've changed my ways over the years. But I got to tell you, man, I enjoyed the game, but I am seriously really pissed off with the refereeing, in particular the second half. There was some absolutely disgraceful decisions tonight. There really was. Um, Let me just quickly say hello to the chat, man. I need to get to that as well. Hello to Field Plug. Hello to Josh, Michael, Leo likes Lee, GTT, Rishi, Neutralizer, everyone that's here. Hope you're all well. Apologies if I don't get to you. Will, SS Storm fan, Jeffrey. I'm trying to get to everyone, but my laptop's being stupid. Okay. Couple of things that we need to go over. Nathan Cleary went off injured. That's a big talking point. Nelson got binned. The first try of the game was an obstruction. The penalty that Jerome Hughes got at the end was ridiculous. There were so many bad calls. And look, Ashley Klein made some major errors tonight, man. He made some big, big mistakes. But Klein is obviously part of the problem, but the bunker in his ear doesn't help. It doesn't help. Cody, what was obviously you watched it? You did a live watch along live stream on your channel, so you might have a different opinion to me. But what was your take on the refereeing? Did you notice it being ordinary, or did you think it was a fairly contested game?
In some parts, honestly, I think it was fair, but yeah, quite a few calls, especially when Nelson went off in the bin. I think that was quite a huge one, and I think that was probably not the right call. But yeah, the penalty with Jerome Hughes, which got the penalty goal, wasn't right. But I think Klein obviously can't control the game like other refs can, but I think he did an okay job tonight.
I just want to unleash. Like I'm actually, you know, if this is the grand final, so be it. I know every single person is predicting Panthers Storm to be the grand final. It's the boring prediction. I'd say majority of the rugby league fan base probably don't want to see Penrith and Melbourne. We want to see someone else. A lot of people jumping on the Bulldogs, a few people jumping on Manly, a few people want the Roosters because a lot of their players are moving on at the end of the season. A lot of people want to see, the Sharks or the Cowboys or the Dolphins or Dragons or someone just out of nowhere, someone different. But if this is the grand final, we're in for a hell of a game. But my God, we got to get the refereeing right, man. My God. Last week in the Penrith versus Parramatta game, Penrith got away with a very dodgy obstruction, which ended up being the match-winning try. And then tonight, the first try of the game that Melbourne scored was an obstruction on Nathan Cleary. So I guess the NRL were like, well, you know what? Last week we gave you one. This week we'll just even it up. We'll make it even. It's like, bro, we're so close to finals. We need to be getting shit correct. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. All right. Now, some of the decisions that I want to go over. Obviously, obstruction was bad. Right. First one I'm going to go on about. How about this? The Nelson Asafa Solomona sin bin. Cody, in my opinion, in my 10 cents of an opinion, the Nelson Asafa Solomona sin bin was absolutely fucking bullshit. He knocked out Munster, if anything. Sure, he hit Dane Laurie in the back of the head, maybe a little bit. But my God, majority of the force was on Munster. There was nothing in that. I don't know what your take was when you were watching it live, but that was rubbish. That wasn't a sin bin. That was bullshit. And then you had the Penrith try a minute later, which fucking pissed me off because I'm like, well, great. Referee just ruined the game. Then Melbourne somehow hit back with Wishart with 12 men. They somehow score. And then we get to another really bad call at the end. Fisher Harris puts a shot on Jerome Hughes. They call it as a late hit. Now, look, I'm all for protecting halves. I love protecting halves, man. You got to protect them all, especially when it comes to late hits. But Fisher Harris was committed to the tackle. It wasn't late. It wasn't late at all. That was fucking bullshit as well. So Penrith had some bad calls go against them. So did Melbourne. They both had some disgraceful decisions. They really did. But yeah, I'm pissed off with the. I'm happy with how the game went. I thought it was a great game of football, but I'm just disappointed and pissed off with the refereeing in the second half because it just wasn't good enough for this type of game. Penrith versus Melbourne, the refereeing just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, in some ways, can agree with it. Obviously, the Nelson sin should not have happened. I can agree with you with that. Yeah, there was like a little swing on the back of Dane Laurie, but it was soft as, and got sin bin because of that. I think if he gets any weeks for this, then that's the wrong call. Now, that last late contact on Hughes, yes, I agree as well. It should not have happened. It was late contact, my ass. I've seen that happen many times, and they get away with it.
Look, man, I'll say this as well. At the end of the day, Ashley Klein is a referee. He's a human being. He's going to make mistakes, just like the players are going to make mistakes. But my God, I don't believe Ashley Klein's form as a referee is good enough at the moment to referee this type of game in a finals game. I just don't think it's good enough at the moment. His officiating just isn't. It isn't there, man. It isn't there.
No, in a way, there's not much from him, but obviously he did what he can do tonight.
Oh, goodness me. But let's get into the review, shall we? And the first try of the game, Cody, was scored by Grant Anderson. Melbourne off the scrum play, out the back, obviously a bit of a tough call there. Might have been a bit of an obstruction on Nathan Cleary, but the bunkers say play on. Grant Anderson scores the first try. Excuse me. Did you think obstruction or did you think it was all good?
I think it probably should have been obstruction, but I don't think Cleary was going to get him anyway. Like getting Anderson, but
Well, it's
yeah, I
black and
think
white. This is the problem with the obstruction rule. This is the problem. It's too fucking hot and cold. How many times is a decoy runner going to make contact with a defender and they're going to say obstruction or not? They're going to say no. You know what I've noticed, Cody? Penrith Parramatta last week. That try at the end, very controversial decision. They say it was a defensive decision. They're saying Cleary's one's a defensive decision. I don't know. It's so black and white. It's so black and white right now. And goodness me. Honestly, I would not be shocked, Cody. I would not be shocked if Ivan Cleary or Craig Bellamy, one of them, had a whinge at the press conference. I would not be shocked. And honestly, between the obstruction try to Grant Anderson, between the Nelson Solomona sin bin, between the penalty on Jerome Hughes at the end, they both have their arguments in complaining. They both have their reasons. So, anyway, Melbourne go 4-0 up, and then Melbourne again, bro. Eli Katoa. Now, this is another try that is controversial because Nelson Solomona contacts Dylan Edwards, who's going for the ball when he gets in the way. Now, I get Nelson. I get Nelson's a support player and he can't just disappear, but I'm pretty sure there was a game earlier this year. I believe it was Melbourne and Roosters at Allianz. Nelson was in the way, and Trent Robinson blew up about it in the press conference. And then the NRL come out on the Monday and said that it was the wrong call. So that was a similar situation, in my opinion. It was Eli Katoa scores to try, but it's a very, very controversial decision again.
Yeah. Oh, I thought when I was watching it, I think it looked fine, but watching back on it, like, yeah, that probably should not have been a try.
Well, maybe it is a try. Maybe I need to have another look at it, but it looked like Edwards couldn't really get there, like fully across there. But in saying that, Eli Katoa did beat about 3 Penrith players, 2 scores, so he did well. It was 10-0 at that point, and then Penrith fought back. Lindsay Smith runs a very nice line, a couple of good passes on the right-hand side, and Smith crashes over for a rare try, Cody. Lindsay Smith.
Yeah, who would have thought Smith would get a try tonight? Who would put money on it? Good on you. But, yeah, knew Penrith will bounce back eventually, but good try.
So then it was 10-6 in favour. 10-4. Cleary missed the kick. And then Isaac Tago scores a try where a massive grubber kick. I think it might have been Luai that grubber kick this one. Or
yeah,
Cleary
that was Luai.
Luai's grubber kick. And then Tago gets to the ball before it goes dead. What a great try from Tago.
Yeah, I thought Luai was just going to kick it dead, then out of nowhere, Tago just gets the ball, and it was only, I think, Howard was the only one getting to the ball. But yeah, that was an unexpected try.
And then it goes to 10-10, and then obviously right before half time, a cross-field kick from Munster, tap back from Warbrick. I believe it went backwards. And then Eli Katoa gets a double, Cody. Eli Katoa getting 2 tries tonight.
Yeah, Katoa getting a double. I first thought it went forward off the Melbourne player, but I don't know. Just different camera angles, I guess. But Katoa, I think
it was cool. Yeah, you're right. Definitely a few camera angles there. Melbourne goes 16-12 up, and then 16-10 up, I should say. And then get this. This is the weirdest penalty I've seen the entire year. Melbourne claim a 20-40, sorry. Melbourne claim a 20-40, but they don't even tap the ball, and Jack Howarth is offside. And then Penrith get a penalty right on half time. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, it was. I've never seen that kind of flag before, but I mean, you meant to tap the ball anyway.
They didn't even tap it.
you're meant to tap out before every 20-minute restart.
Bizarre. Half time, Melbourne 16-12 in front. Second half begins. Penrith down the left-hand side. Casey McLean puts the kick back on the inside, and Dylan Edwards in his return game scores a nice try there, Dylan Edwards.
Yep, and I think McLean was standout tonight, but good kick from him, and Penrith struck back in front at the right time. So I guess that penalty goal was worth it.
They go in front there at 18 points to 16. And then obviously Nelson gets binned, which I've already ranted on. I think it was a bad call. Yeah. I don't agree with it whatsoever. And then Casey McLean scores. I think he moved over to the right edge because there was a HIA to Laurie. So Casey McLean went over to the right side and scored a try, bro. Casey McLean, good to see him scoring a try.
Yep. Well, good try.
And then Cleary misses a conversion, bro. Cleary had a tough day with the goal kicking. 22-16 at that point. And then with 12 men, Wishart just dummies, takes on the line and scores a brilliant try. How good's Wishart going?
Yep, even off the bench. Wishart shows the way why he's probably one of the best out there. But that pretty much put Melbourne back. That put Melbourne back in the game.
If there's an award for Dally M jersey 14 of the season, Tyron Wishart is winning that award at this stage, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Has to win it. I don't even know if there is an award for that, but he has to be leading it. So, yeah, obviously 22 all, and then another terrible referee decision that I just... Oh, God. There's a difference between a late hit and a dog shot. Fisher Harris, it wasn't even late. It wasn't even high. Wasn't even dangerous, in my opinion. And then he gets penalised for it. Late shot, apparently, on Jerome Hughes. Nick Meaney takes a shot at goal, and Melbourne go in front, Cody, 24-22 with 8 to go.
Yeah, I think that was a stupid call with that penalty, but it is what it is, I guess. And, yeah, Melbourne's pretty much win it for me.
And then, yeah, obviously Luai put up a bomb. Things didn't go their way. And then Lindsay Smith with a silly tackle. Melbourne ended up getting a penalty. And then Tago gave away a penalty for an escort on Pappenhausen. I thought Melbourne were going to go for goal there, waste more time on the clock. But they didn't do that. They just tapped the ball and got through. Josh King made an error. And then, get this, Munster does a high tackle. Penrith kick it, Luai kicks it, about 20 metres, and then obviously Dylan Edwards has a shot at a 2-point field goal and he misses, and that's the ball game. Melbourne win 24-22.
Yeah, well, I think for what the game was, despite the controversy, I think it was a well-done game. Definitely game of the year, or top 5 game of the year, no doubt. But
yeah, it'd be up there.
I mean, Edwards was under a lot of pressure to kick that, but obviously he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, well, I said, Edwards will probably have a crack at field goal because I don't think Luai can kick him from 40. Well, he probably can, but Edwards in the past has nailed those. Absolutely nailed them.
So, only if Cleveland was there, Penrith could have probably won.
Well, if chocolate was everyone's dinner, they'd all be eating chocolate.
Yep.
Whatever. I don't know what I'm on about, but I'm just whatever. You got to remember too, Cleary did miss 2 goals tonight. He kicked 2 for 4, and one of them were next to the post. So you could maybe even talk about his goal kicking, which was a little bit down tonight. But the important thing about this, and we'll get to the Nathan Cleary injury very soon, but Melbourne, Cody, they are now 2 games clear on top of the ladder. Melbourne have 3 games remaining. Melbourne should finish on top of the ladder now.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 points clear, 2 points clear rather now. But
2 games, yeah.
I think they will win the minor premiership. They've got the Dolphins next week at home. Then they've got your boys in Townsville and the Broncos. at some court, but
Mm.
I think Melbourne will win the minor premiership this year.
Well, all Melbourne have to do next week is they just have to beat the Dolphins. And if Penrith beat the Raiders, they beat the Raiders, whatever. But I have heard rumours that Melbourne are talking about resting players against the Cowboys and then playing everyone in the final round against Brisbane so they have a bit of momentum going into the finals. Because if you remember last year, Melbourne, they rested everyone last round against Brisbane and they did win because it was basically Melbourne reserve grade versus Brisbane reserve grade. And then in week 1 of the finals, Melbourne got absolutely pumped by the Broncos, 26-0, and Craig Bellamy and a lot of the Melbourne Storm people weren't happy with it, and they are blaming the 1 week rest of for that thrashing. So, what I think Melbourne are going to do, and like I could be wrong, I'm only guessing here. I reckon they'll rest some players for the Cowboys game, and they'll rest some players for the Broncos game. They'll probably, like for example, Melbourne might rest Pappenhausen, Munster, and say Grant for the Cowboys game, but they'll play all 3 of them against the Broncos. But they might rest, your Will Warbricks and your Xavier Coates when he comes back, and your Pappies and all these sort of players, Jerome Hughes, whatever. So we'll see what happens. But if Melbourne win next week, you'd expect them to rest players against the Cowboys and the Broncos because Melbourne will be locked in for first. They will be.
You think so, but we'll just have to wait and see at this stage.
Now, Nathan Cleary, shoulder injury. Not good. Not good. Went off injured. I'm going to try and find out if there's any other updates on the injury itself. But if he's out for a couple of weeks, Penrith should be okay because they have a fairly good run home. But could be a bit of a loss there, Cody.
Yeah, major blow. Wasn't expecting. He only just came back from a hamstring not too long ago. Second hamstring this year, funny enough. But I think they'll be okay without him. But if it's a major shoulder injury, it doesn't seem like it was a big one. It could be like muscular, and they said it wasn't the one he had surgery years ago on.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be okay without him.
Well, here's the thing, right? Penrith have got a really soft run home, man. They got the Raiders next week in Canberra, and depending on what happens with the Raiders this weekend against the Cowboys, and depending on what happens with the Dragons and Dolphins, say Dragons and Dolphins both lose, say the Raiders lose, the Raiders next week will be playing for their season against Penrith out at Canberra. So that's probably going to be a tough game for Penrith, but they'll probably back themselves to win, and everyone probably will pick them. And then they play your boys, the Rabbitohs, out at Penrith, which, Cody, I know you want Souths to win, but that's a tough game for Souths at the moment with how things
If
are
they
going.
rest any players or not, but doubt it.
And then they obviously finish off with the Titans, who they might rest players for Titans, but who really knows? Probably depends on a few things. But the other thing about Nathan Cleary that we should talk about, obviously the injury is not good and it's definitely a concern, but Nathan Cleary also did a shoulder charge on Nelson.
Yes.
He could be in trouble for that. What do you think about that?
We'll have to wait and see about it. But, well, if he's going to get any weeks for it, then that's not going to be good. So he could be out for the rest of the year, but we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, no. I got some breaking news, and I don't like this.
What?
There is rumours that Cleary could be gone for the year.
Shit.
I've just received it from a friend in private message. I hope he's not taking the piss, but breaking news, Cleary could be out for the year. Oh, shit.
That's going to be bad for Penrith.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Depending Obviously, it's hard to really know right now what's going to happen because Cleary will have to go for scans tomorrow, and I guess we'll find out the outcome of the injury. Obviously, it's hard to really say he's going to be out for the year now, but obviously there's a chance that it could happen. In my opinion, as good as Penrith are, there's no way they can win the comp without Cleary.
No, they can't.
I don't care if your halves pairing is Luai and Schneider, Luai and Cole, Luai and Laurie. There's no way that Penrith team is going to win the comp without Cleary. It can't happen.
It'll be a miracle, but
If it does happen, then they will go down as the greatest rugby league dynasty that we've ever seen. I'm telling you. You. Can the Knights win the grand final now? Maybe on Rugby League Live 4, bro. I don't know about that. It's going to be tough.
no, they're not going to make the top 8.
The Knights actually, in the Knights' defense, look, I've been shitting on Newcastle a lot this season. In their defense, they do have a soft run home. If they happen to beat the Sharks on Sunday, I believe their run home is quite soft. They got Souths next week, which is a winnable game. And they finish off with the Titans at Newey, which they have a good record over the Titans at Newey. And then they finish off with the Dolphins at Newey. So, yeah, if they can win this week, there is a bit of hope there for the Knights. It really is. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Cleary, man, it's big. It's really big.
Yep.
Could the Bulldogs be a chance after? Could the Bulldogs now be a chance after the defense they have shown? Okay, Bulldogs for me, look, they're probably an outside chance. Their defense is good enough for sure. I feel like the Dogs are another year or two away, but we've all seen them, the 2014, 2004, 94, all that situation. You never know.
That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit. It's facts, bro. It's facts.
I know, but not backing the facts for the Dogs issue.
You don't have to believe in fairy tales, but you got to believe in the stats sometimes. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. If Nathan Cleary gets ruled out for the year with a shoulder problem, has to have surgery, Melbourne will go out as the favourites to win it. But then the whole comp just becomes open, bro. The comp's open.
Yep, a new team steps up and faces Melbourne. But
Melbourne might not be there. We could get a grand final from teams that are outside the top 4. Like, who knows?
That's never happened before.
I know we've never seen an NRL grand final with 2 teams outside the top 4, but that is going to break one day. You just never know. Now, let's get to a couple of players. Stats for tonight, and Lindsay Smith made the most tackles tonight there in the back row, 51 tackles. Harry Grant, 46 tackles. Penrith's most running meters were 178. For Melbourne, Cameron Munster ran for 146 meters. And, yeah, good stuff there. Who were a couple of standout players for you tonight, Cody? Who do you reckon played well?
Well, I reckon Casey McLean. I think he's stand out well for Penrith.
Yeah, he was good, yeah.
Yeah, Elise Katoa getting a double. I think probably they're my 2 best, but I'll give a credit to Lindsay Smith as well. Played one of his best games of his career, no doubt.
Yeah. Look, man, for me, look, I thought Cameron Munster was outstanding. I said on Tuesday night when I did my tipping live stream, I said Munster's going to have a big game and he's going to explode. I wouldn't say he exploded, but I thought he was very good tonight. That was Munster's best game in probably the season. Probably because he's been out for a while with injuries, Munster. So I reckon that was his best game of the year. Munster's my man of the match. I was happy with Munster. I thought Jack Howard had a really good game at centre. I thought Pappenhausen defended really well. Hughes also very good performance from him.
Wishart when he came on.
Wishart off the bench, a lot of impact. I thought Eli Katoa and Trent Liero were very good. Thought Alex McDonald off the bench did some really good things, in my opinion. And for Penrith, Lindsay Smith in the back row played really well. Like you said, Casey McLean. Edwards was good. Edwards was really solid. Luai had a good game tonight. Cleary was good, but obviously went off injured, which is a blow. Thought Isaiah Yeo was outstanding, bro. Isaiah Yeo was outstanding. And massive shout out to Matt Eisenhuth, bro. He was good too.
Yep. Off the bench, he played well tonight.
Well, my player of the game was Cameron Munster. That's who I'm going to give it to. Who are you thinking? Player of the game?
Well, there's so many you can give it to, but I'm going to go Eli Katoa for bagging a double and playing well tonight.
Yeah. And in the chat, Michael has just said Cleary has done shoulder, but doesn't say anything about him out for the year. Well, that's like what I said before. He's going to have to go for scans, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Have to wait and see.
Tomorrow into the weekend.
Well, I mean, we should know by Saturday. I mean, if he gets scanned tomorrow, we'll probably know by tomorrow afternoon or Saturday. So big stuff, man. The competition could be open to anyone right now. It could be open. Be open. If you're a team in the top 8, so I'm looking at Melbourne, I'm looking at Roosters, I'm looking at Sharks, Bulldogs, Manly, Cowboys, Dragons. If you're in the 8, or Dolphins, I should say, if you're in the 8, you should be excited because you're a chance. There's hope at the end. There's hope. There's hope now. Because everyone was like, oh, Penrith with Cleary, full strength. No one can win it. No one can beat him. Well, if he's not there, you'll fancy yourself a chance. Yeah. All right. Well, that might wrap things up, I reckon, for the review. It's been a lot of fun. Been here for just over half an hour now. Well, Cody, appreciate your time tonight for coming on the review, bro. And good luck on Saturday night out at Campbelltown. I know you're heading to the game and you'll be doing a vlog and whatever. So good luck on Saturday night, bro.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on once again, Nick. And yes, first time in 25 years Rabbitohs play there. And should be a good night. Won't be a good game, though, but we'll have to wait and see. And good luck to the Cowboys beforehand.
Yes, I'll be doing a live reaction on the YouTube channel here for that on Saturday night. So make sure you all tune in to that. But this is where the review comes to an end, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see us tomorrow for the Friday night football review. Until then, have a good one. Storm 24, Panthers 22. See you tomorrow.